Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Murder of Birds here, and we're going to be checking out the Furina character teaser that just recently dropped titled Member of the Cast. Now, this could either be a very straightforward reaction where there's not much to extrapolate on, or I'm going to somehow turn this 2-minute trailer into like a 10-minute plus discussion. It's 1 o'clock at the time of recording. I was originally planning on waiting until later in the day before I live streamed to do this reaction. However, I kind of got a second wind after the trailer released, and I got out of bed because I wasn't actually tired after all. And so I am sitting down now to do a brief recording of my thoughts, theories, speculations on the Furina teaser. 4.2 is just a couple of days away. She is the latest Archon that will be coming out following all of the hype and buildup of the 4.2 live stream special program that we had, and I'm really excited about that. I'm also going to be starting the World Quest, the Unfinished Comedy, on my Twitch channel later today, so whenever you're ending up seeing this, check me out over on twitch.tv/murderofbirds. Really appreciate the support. But with all that said, I just want to learn more about Furina. I want to know if we can learn anything about the fate of Fontaine, the fate of her as the Archon, and what her Grandmaster plan is going into this final pinnacle arc of the Fontaine Archon quest. So without further ado, let us check it out. All right, gamers, let us check out character teaser Furina, member of the cast. Hoyoverse. Oh, it's an old-timey film reel.
Opera walks the line between truth and fiction.
True. Oh, the little tea party.
For though the story is fictional,
Oh, hello, Furina.
as the characters are concerned, their fate is real.
Okay. Nani? Are you a play? Is this a play? Is this a performance? She is so adorable.
Therein lies the rub. Are you and I the audience? Or characters on the stage?
True. That's kind of like what Linny and Lynette were doing
Nobody
during
can
the
know for
Overture
sure.
teaser.
After all,
Yeah.
nothing is easier to fool than the senses.
Oh, that's ominous.
We know only one thing for certain, that the prophecy is true. Because in this show, the prophecy is a part of all characters' fate.
What the hell? Are you, is this, are we playing, is this a performance?
Don't believe me? So, you still haven't noticed that I'm not even speaking to you.
Yeah, also,
This
what the
is
hell?
just a recording playing in your head.
What is this?
Now, do you see? The prophecy has come true, and everything has been lost to the Great Flood.
So is this a part of the play? Are we in a performance here? I don't understand like how this relates to like what we're actually experiencing.
And you are the only one I have left.
Yo, is that Seymour?
And so,
What
while
is-
fate may seem like it's playing cruel jokes on you, only fate will not deceive you.
What the hell? The opera house is already underwater?
Unless you can first deceive fate itself.
I need this Act 5 to give me answers. I have never been more stumped on an Archon's plot points than I am with Fontaine, and I love that so much that I am not like, I was kind of questioning Raiden A with the puppet situation. I was like, oh, did she lose like a sibling, a family member, a friend or something like that? Turned out it was Makoto. I pretty much called that Nahida and Ruka Devada were one and the same, albeit like a split case of like Irminsul and situations like that. But I don't understand Furina, her connections to Egeria, what the fate of Neuvillette is going to be in comparison to her when she says she has everything under control. This entire process, running this back, just kind of looking at it visually, and I'm just going to be spitballing here. So first off, I just want to say Furina is narrating this while also being the presenter, which is already kind of telling. And by the title of the teaser as well, it's called Member of the Cast, where she is already talking about fate is real, fate is set in place, but from the perspective of like a theatrical performance, that could be pushed to that level as well. Everyone that's playing a role cannot act outside of their role. Like, your fate is set depending on what the script tells you that it is. So this is kind of giving like Matrix a little bit. Like, is the fate of Fontaine already happening? Are we in like a Samsara situation? Furina says she has everything under control, but at the same time, she's like
Are you and I the
depressed and
audience?
sad
Or
throughout all of
characters
this.
on
She
stage?
says if you want to, the only way that you can escape fate is if you deceive fate itself.
Nobody can know for sure. After all, nothing is easier to fool than the senses.
Exactly. And first off, this shot is freaking dope as hell. I already love Furina's like dual eye color change, like heterochromia design she's got going on. And then this kind of just, I don't know, this is like just really, really eerie. I'm just like, what does this all mean? And then I feel like we have to constantly remember what the Overture teaser was trying to convey to us. I feel like they're bringing it back around with this here, which is that magic is what you see with your own two eyes. Everything else is trying to distract you. Look what this hand's doing, not what this hand's doing. And so in my head, I'm just thinking, I'm like, are we all being taken for a loop here? What is this prophecy in the grand scheme of things, in the grand scheme of the Fontaine that we are seeing and hearing and experiencing for ourselves? Is there some greater force that is causing us to see one thing versus another? Is Furina the only one that can actually truly know what is to come?
For certain.
It's just so perplexing. And they're talking about how the prophecy is going to happen. There's nothing that can stop it. Yet Furina is basically like, I have everything under control. Trust me. This is also kind of giving Liyue Archon Quest, because everything was kind of like a wait and see kind of thing, right? If anything truly went to shit, Zhongli would have popped off and saved everybody. It was a test at the end of the day to see if humanity was able to carry on without him. But at the end of the day, it was an orchestrated string of events that La Senora and Zhongli decided to step back and watch play from the sidelines. And I'm wondering if that's the same case here, where she's talking about a play and performances, and it says Furina, member of the cast. So is she just playing a role here? Is there really a threat to Fontaine? Has that threat already happened and now they're just playing out you know what I mean? Because it's like almost kind of like a Samsara situation. Like, instead of this being Fontaine's definitive fate, what if Fontaine has already fallen and now they're just recurring history over and over again? And by the end of the act, it's like, all right, curtain call, everyone take their bow. Okay, let's set up again and play the show again and just do everything in like this crazy haptic cycle. And then there's a dog here. There's a clockwork mecha dog here, which kind of reminds me of Seymour. So I don't know if they're giving like Marianne vibes. And she's recording all of this too. This isn't even her that I'm looking at. Like the character they go an extra step further. The character I'm looking at right now is not even the character that's telling me all of this stuff in my head. So my two senses are deciphering two completely different perspectives, two different narratives here.
Now, do you see? The prophecy has come true.
So even here,
Everything has been lost to the great flood.
everything has already flooded. So I'm just like, what's Act 4? What's this entire Archon quest been if now she's saying, oh, everything's already happened? I am so perplexed. And if we are in this kind of like underwater prophecy samsara cycle, is the massive pool of indemnitium going to break that cycle? Is Furina going to break the shackles of fate with all of that indemnitium to try to get people to see what's truly in front of them and stop being distracted by all the smoke and mirrors and magic and performance and stuff like that? I have no fucking clue. And I can't even take the freaking 4.2 trailer at face value, because those are specifically designed to misdirect you with cutscenes from the World Quest and the Archon Quest and like crossing voice lines that don't have anything to do with the scene you're looking at. I just feel like for the first time, I am literally being deceived at every turn, and I don't know what's gonna happen. And I think that's the best thing about this Archon Quest, is that I can make I literally feel like I'm shooting in the dark. I feel like I know what's going on more with the Narcissenkreuz Ordo and Renee and Elaine and, you know, that entire World Quest line than the Archon Quest. The Archon Quest truly taking me for a loop here. But it's just like, she seems so
Are the only one I
sad. Like, everyone's gone, everyone's dead. It's just her and this fucking clockwork mecha dog. You also have to think Masquerade of the Guilty. She lives for the spectacle of the courtroom, seeking to judge all other gods, though she makes sure not to make an enemy of the divine. So I don't know if this deceiving fate has to do with the heavenly principles, if it has to do with Celestia, if it has to do with the primordial sea. always and forever making sure that it floods Fontaine? Is she trying to break that cycle of something that is destined to happen? You know, we have Mona in the situation. We have Nicole in the situation. They are divinators. They are people that can perceive fate, and they're all hydro-based, I'm assuming. But, like, I don't know what this is going to mean for Furina, what it's going to mean for her Gnosis, what it's going to mean for Neuvillette, what it's going to mean for the Oratrice, and the fate of this nation, because I just feel like I just don't know what the fuck is going to happen. I don't know how Aether is going to be a variable to kind of change things beyond what they are capable of doing, because Aether is always the wild card with every nation. You know, he's the first sage, he's the hope and dreams of the people's wishes and ambitions. He was channeling all of the power of the Adepti. Aether is always, or Aether slash Lumine are the wild cards, and I just don't know what they're going to be able to bring to the table. You know, there's also the fact of Neuvillette, because if something happens to Furina, and then there's the whole Focalors thing. I don't know if Focalor and Furina are two different entities, right? The Osa and Numa, the two different colored eyes, the voice in the Oratrice, the fact that she doesn't have her Gnosis on her, the fact that Arlecchino thinks that she has a curse placed upon her. There's so many different avenues and theories, and they could all be right. I'm just kind of curious as to how all of these things are going to line up and make sense, because, and to be quite honest, we might not even get the answers until her second story quest, if she's still around even. You know what I mean? Paints such a foreboding vibe that everything that we've experienced in this Archon quest doesn't feel real. It feels like everything is a performance, everything is for show, everything is played up for theatrics, and what we've been seeing, what we've been hearing has been a lie. Actually, you know what this is giving? This is kind of giving like a little bit of Valoria Mirage, because like in this shot right here, we have narrator Furina talking to us, which is not the Furina that's sitting down, which is not the Furina being depicted in the play. So you got like 3 different perspectives here, layer upon layer upon layer, and then at the very end of all of this, you have the Furina who seemingly is at the very end of the show, sunk at the bottom of the ocean, you know, of the primordial sea, with just herself and a clockwork mecha dog who's recording everything that she's experiencing. So I have no idea. This is incredible. This could be Furina. This could be Focalors. This could be like its own separate, you know, reality, opposed from whatever the hell's going on. This could be even within the primordial sea itself, and it's trying to bring everything else along, you know, or the craziest thing of all, this could just be one big performance, and the primordial sea can be seen as the curtain call, you know, and then it's like, oh, well, everyone's okay, everyone's good, everyone gets brought back from the primordial sea, and then they do the show all over again. I have no fucking clue. It's given me more questions than answers, and I'm really, really happy about that, because for the first time, I am completely stumped on what this Archon quest is going to deliver. I have no fucking clue. I actually might consider just doing the Archon quest before I even have a chance to do the 4.2 world quest stuff, because for the first time in a long time, I feel like if I'm not on top of the Archon quest, I have a legitimate chance of being spoiled on social media before I'm able to do the Archon quest for myself. But yeah, I just want to know. I just want to know what her plan is. How is she going to deceive fate? You know, Mona says it all the time. Fate is as such, for it cannot be changed. It cannot be rewritten. It can only but be accepted. But she wants to deceive fate, and maybe that's what the indemnitium is. And here's the biggest thing. I'm gonna close off on this because I feel like I'm rambling, and I apologize. Furina, or rather in the trailer, she makes a declaration: the trial of Focalor will now begin. And if she's already collecting an extravagant and an enormous amount of indemnitium based on all of the trials of the past, how much indemnitium do you think is going to be channeled with a trial where the god of the nation is on the stands? The god of the nation is being judged. You know, what is that gonna, how are the people going to perceive that? Are the people going to holistically give their beliefs to her and create like a nationwide indemnitium spike that will allow her to channel that and do whatever the hell she needs? Be it stop the whale, you know, stop the narwhal beast, stop the primordial sea, you know, give up her authority to Neuvillette, give up her Gnosis to Neuvillette, you know, stop whatever performance is going on here. I have no clue, you know, and I expect Arlecchino to be there at the very end to collect this Gnosis, however that may be. I am just so perplexed, and there's so many avenues, there's so many theories, there's so many ways to speculate and break this down, you know, and then we got Skirk, which Lord knows what she's going to be delivering for this Archon quest, even, no matter how brief it may be, even if it's just to like reunite with Child or save Child or whatever, you know. And I'm shocked that they haven't referenced Igiria in a more pivotal way, similar to Makoto or Ruka Devada, you know, who had very prominent roles in the structure of the current Archon. You know, Igiria, I thought Igiria would have been kind of a familial, motherly type to Furina at this point, prior to her death, or following the transfer of power after she died at the Girdle of the Sands. sense. But I feel like I've just been questioning a lot of things, and I hope I'm not the only one that feels that way, because I genuinely feel lost in the sauce of all of this. She speaks as if she already knows what's going to happen before it happens, implying that she might just be a member of the cast. She might just be playing her role. She might be playing it very well. And while everybody else is out of the loop and it's like, Furina, what are you doing? What are you doing? You know, on the surface, she looks very sad, but that could be a performance. She could be playing it up, because why would someone be sad if at the end of the day, she's like, I can handle this. I have a plan. I know what I'm doing. But she also gives Amy vibes, where on one side, she's playing this character, and then on the other side, she's very insecure, docile, reserved, and not very much the confident Archon that we all expect her or want her to be to save her nation. And so I'm just kind of perplexed. I don't know if this is the Matrix. I don't know if this is like, if she's coming to terms with a sacrifice that she might be going through, if she's going to surrender her authority to appease the heavenly principles, or to divert their, you know, to divert their power and their control, if she does give her authority to Neuvillette, who is one of the original sovereigns and an enemy of Celestia at the end of the day. I have no idea what this is going to mean for her, but if this is like a sacrificial thing, it seems like the captain is ready to go down with the ship, so to speak. And I can't wait to see what happens. But that is everything that I kind of have on my plate right now. I really can't make heads or tails. This is a teaser. This is the most teaserous teaser that I've experienced for Genshin Impact in a very, very, very long time. Even the Nahida one kind of painted a picture of what was already kind of established and understood about Ruka Devada and Lesser Lord Kusanali. But this one is really like, we are going to push the envelope all the way to the breaking point, but not give you anything until the Archon quest, which is like, I think this is the Archon quest that everyone is anticipating if they're on the same page with the Archon quest up to this point. And I just hope it delivers. I hope it's goated. I hope it's the best Archon quest to date. And I just hope that nothing bad happens, but I feel like the vibes and the tone are changing drastically, so we'll have to wait and see. But with all of that said, I would love to know all of your thoughts, theories, speculations, everything else in between. What do you guys think? I laid it all out there for y'all, and hopefully the rambles weren't too bad, where you guys can enjoy yourselves with this little thought process exercise I have here. But yeah, we have the character demo, which will most likely be coming out tomorrow. Tuesday's the Archon quest. If I really want to be on top and not be spoiled, I actually might start the Archon quest on Wednesday, if not Thursday at the latest, because I just don't want to be spoiled on anything. I want to see it. I want to be right there in the driver's seat with everybody else. And so I might start it as early as Wednesday. We'll have to wait and see. But thank you guys so much for watching. As always, leave your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.